this one distinction could help so many men that are in pain. And that is that the dissolution of the ego, or the death of the ego, feels like death itself. And what do I mean by that? Well, last year, I felt like I was dying. I felt like I was not from this earth. Like I was just like, fuck it. All this shit keeps going wrong. Nothing's working. I'm not happy. I'm sad. I'm miserable. I'm fucking in deep despair. And I was just like right at the point of fucking breaking. Like I'm just done with this life. And I'm glad what I know about human behavior and about the male psychology and all these things to know that this was just the death of the old self, or the death of my ego. And what do I mean by that? So we have this, as we're growing up as a kid, our ego's forming between 0 and 7. And there's these things that give us significance, that how we get rewarded, how we feel loved, like I was saying about significance around job and all of these things, societal expectations that build us up to who we think we need to be. And then life comes along and we have this experience, which is called the dark night of the soul, or Carl Jung called it the night sea journey, where something will happen in our life that causes the ego or the old self to literally die, and it's killing off that old part of ourselves. And it can be a relationship breakdown, it can be relationship challenges, it can be like shit not going right at work, it can be a health concern, it can be family dramas, or anything like this that triggers the death of the old self, or the death of the old ego, and it feels so fucking real, right? And I know that I've seen this with mates that have been through this, and they've unfortunately pulled the pin on life. It's an epidemic among men sort of in their 40s, coming into their 50s. And this feeling of the ego dying and the death of the old self feels so fucking real. And it's followed, and it's called the dissolution phase, or the separation phase. So I hope that you stick with me. This is going to be a longer video, but this is really important to know that these are archetypical stages that a man goes through, and every man goes through this. And this is just not my words. Like, I have experienced this to the full depths of it, and it fucking sucks. But this is just not my language. Everything that I'm sharing with you, I've researched about my own experience. I've researched archetypically with men's work, with psychology, with Jungian psychology, and all of these different things. And even in the Bible, Jesus talks about this same experience that he went through. Like, as men, we go through this archetypal journey, and it's just really helps to know what you're going through, so that when you do experience it, you know what to do, and you know that it will end. So this dissolution, or this separation phase, is this complete dying off of the old self. And then we go into the descent, or the descent into the cave. And this is called the dark night of the soul, the king in exile. Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree for 40 days. Jesus wandered the desert. This is the story of the king in exile. And this is this phase where men go through, and it's just like you're walking the dark path, and it is fucking relentless. Just everything comes up, every fear, every insecurity, everything that you relied on to make you feel how you felt during the day and your relationships and all of these things is just completely stripped away from you. Like, it is violently taken away, and you're literally wandering the desert with no bearing of the future, faced with all your dark thoughts, faced with all your dark emotions, everything that you've been suppressing, everything that you have pushed aside and pushed down is just violently thrust upon you to face. And it is lonely, and it is a stage where you need isolation. It is a stage where you need to stare into the face, to the belly of the beast, and face the darkness. And here's the thing and I've helped my clients go through this. I've been through this myself. And here's the thing that so many men miss. And that is that this phase, what men automatically go to is to numb themselves in this pain. They go to porn, they go to alcohol, they do self-destructive behaviors, they do dumb shit, they crash cars, they end marriages, they do all of these things trying to numb and distract themselves away from this pain. But when they do that, and I can understand why, like this is no judgment. I can understand why they do that, but when you avoid the darkness and staring into the face, to the belly of the beast, you miss the opportunity for the upgrade, right? This pain and this experience and stuff is meant to be felt, right? We are taught so much as men just to shove shit down, not feel your anger, not feel your pain, and just move on. But this is like an energetical upgrade, like God or the creator or the universe is trying to kill off the old version of yourself, the boy traits, all of that, to help you come into the next stage of a man, right? Into this next chapter of your life. So this feeling, you have to face and feel this. You can't distract it with all of those bullshit things that are just like a Band-Aid. So the faster that you can know that this is happening, you can literally stare into it and fully feel it to the depths of its feeling and know that it too shall pass, right? So I really, and don't get me wrong, like I did this myself last year and it was, I've never felt so much despair. I've never felt so much like I was just lost at sea. And because I've been doing this for 10 years, like as hard as it was, I knew it would end. It didn't feel like it was going to end, but I sat with it. I didn't go to porn. I don't drink. I was kind of, my body was just not right. So I couldn't overtrain to distract myself. My clients started coincidentally drying up over that period. So I couldn't get significance from the work that I do. So then money was drying up. So everything was just forcing me to face this darkness that was within me. So I just fully felt it, went through the experience. And then, so when we fully feel it, when we come out the other side, it's like this huge upgrade in our personality, upgrade in our psyche, and everything that we once needed for validation externally, we get it from inside, like God's source of love or our creator's source of love or the universe or everything. It's from the inside out. We no longer need external validation. We no longer seeking approval. We no longer need all of these external things to make us feel good about ourselves, right? Because that shit, I'm sure you can see, is exhausting. So on the other side of this is better relationships, less reactivity, more in control of your emotions. And I don't say control, but I mean less reactive. More abundance comes into your life. You start to see the world differently. You're more compassionate, more understanding. You get this sense of like, I know my place on the earth, because I know so many men that they just don't know what they're here for and they just feel lost. And it's like they're wandering the desert or on that night sea journey for years. So the more that you can feel it and come out the other side, there is so much abundance on the other side. Like one of my clients who was working with me for 9 months or a year, he was going through this for so long and I helped him walk the dark path. And now he's living in his dream location. He's dating again after divorce. He's living his ideal day. He's got an incredible job. He's fit, healthy. He's got his body back to how he wants it. And he's living all of these things, but he had to walk through that dark path and face everything. So if this message resonates with you, please share it to a brother that you know, because it's just so important as men that we know that these journeys that we go on, it's been spoken about through millennia, spoken about through history. And once we kind of know that that pain is going to come to an end, when you're in the belly of the whale, you just don't feel like it's ever going to end. And I just want you to know that if you're experiencing something painful, if you're going through tough times, like I see you, I get it, but it will end and it will come to pass. and there is abundance and love and connection and self-worth and purpose and meaning all on the other side. And I encourage you, if you're going through a tough time, to reach out, have a no obligation confidential chat to me, or reach out to a mate or a brother or Lifeline or something like that, just to talk things through. And if you've got any comments or you've experienced something like this, please share it in the comments, and stay in faith, brothers. We got this.